How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Opendoor Technologies. You guys know these are one of my high conviction plays. I put you guys on to saying, hey, when it was in the $14 range, you load up. Even if it pulled back to 13, you load up, and look where we are at right now. So I want to make sure I give you guys an update video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. It has been gaining a lot of momentum as of late, so I want to make sure that you guys are prepared and you know what to expect. And then afterwards, we're going to be going on FinTel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. This is key, especially when it comes to the short volume, because it does have an impact on the stock price. And then afterwards, we're going to be doing the order flow distribution, where institutions loading up on shares have opened today. We're going to find out. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more key details. You guys know I want to give you a lot of value in my videos, so let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for Opendoor Technologies. So let's see how it performed on the day. So I ended up closing at $18.42, being up 3.89%. On the low, it tested $17.73, and then on the high, testing $18.49. Taking a look at the volume stats on the day, we traded at 10.252 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 11.403 million shares. So we had a little bit below average volume, but we ended up still seeing some strength in the overall stock price. As far as the chart that we're using the 1-year daily chart. Taking a look at the RSI down below, it is at 64.77, so we are in the overbought territory because Open has been on quite the run. I'm so excited about this because I was telling you guys to get inside of this play, or actually consider it, I should say, when it was in the $14 range or even below that. So of course we are enjoying a nice run up here. We could see from our moving averages we are above the 21-day EMA, we're above the 50-day, and also we are above the 100-day, and the momentum just continues. So as far as areas of resistance to pay attention to, we ended up getting to $8.49. So you can see clearly as far as this 1850 area, if we can break this going into tomorrow, then I'm going to be looking for a very strong move where we can start getting into the $19 level, which would be a really good look. If we do decide to kind of cool off and pull back a little bit, then of course I want to see us being able to actually hold down this area right here around $17.36. That's if we pull back. That is the worst case scenario here. As far as testing 1773 on the day, we showed some strength there, so I want to see a continuation of that, but just keep in mind as far as that 1730 area, that is the backup. But for the most part, Open is looking very bullish, and you could already see even from the volume that has been picking up through this stock, it has been going down a little bit, then it had a big tick back up. That's why I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if it cooled off a little bit, but for the most part I'm excited. You guys know I love the long-term prospects of this stock. So we're on FinTel. We're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Open. So as we scroll down, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at what's been filed recently, you can see there's a lot of institutional activity as far as opening new positions. We have multi-strategy alternative fund class A that went in with just over 42,000 shares. We also have Vanguard that went in with just over 113,000 shares. We also have Vanguard going in again, and they went in with just over 237,000. Another position at over 104,000. Vanguard is loading up. They know what they're doing. All right, let's take a look at the short interest. As we scroll down on the page, the short shares availability is at 7.6 million, updated 17 minutes ago. And for the short ball fee rate, it is at 0.55%. Now, when we take a look at the short interest information as far as for the short volume ratio for the close of the 27th, it was at 65.32. The close for the 30th being at 57.35. 45, and now for the 31st, you can see it's been going down, being at 47.25, which was yesterday. So of course, Open does continue to have short squeeze potential here, but there is a lot of negative market sentiment saying their stock price needs to come down. But with all that, that doesn't really matter because we are bullish on this play. And even if it does decide to pull back, you guys already know I'm going to be adding even more to my position. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Opendoor. So we see here on the inflow, it is at 29.99, and then on the outflow, it is at 30.81. So we ended up having an outflow day. So you can see here, as far as on the large for the inflows, we had 0. On the medium, we had 9.84, and then on the small, we had 20.15. Now on the outflow side, on the large, we had a 1.66. Then on the medium, we had 9.35, and then on the small, we had 19.80. So if you're taking notice right away, as far as for the inflows, we ended up having a surplus on the medium and as well as on the small scale orders. Now, when we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, September the 1st, ended up being an outflow day. But we could see we had an inflow day on the 31st and as well as the 26th. And I know you're saying this again. So Drake, it ended up being an outflow day. You can see the large scale orders and so on. Why did the stock price go up? The reason being is institutions were loading up previously. So when we take this into consideration going into today, and like I talk about in a lot of other videos, you look forward to actually seeing a spike in the overall stock, and that's exactly what we're seeing with Open. Do keep in mind, it has ran up quite a bit since I was saying, hey, I love loading up when it's at the $14 range or lower. So that's one thing to also understand. Institutions take notice of this. They did end up releasing their earnings not too long ago. And of course, as far as revenues, they ended up killing it. So again, institutions are now putting their eyeballs on it, and I'm not too surprised with the momentum. So let's just jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over even more details. So for my final thoughts for Opendoor Technologies, you can tell from the smile on my face how I'm excited about seeing this play pop. I was telling you guys to load up. Many of you were saying, well, this stock sucks. It keeps pulling back. It doesn't do what I want it to do. And the one thing I want to tell you guys, you need to be patient. Patience pays off, especially when you're in the stock market. If you're going to be impatient, then a lot of times you are going to lose. I have to be real with you guys. And now, when we went on Fintel, we could see things are definitely looking good. We have some big names that have been loading up on Opendoor stock like Vanguard. But another thing is, taking a look at the short volume ratio, it does have short squeeze potential written all over it. But it also does tell us, as far as for the overall market sentiment, it is fairly negative. Not even fairly, it is really negative, I should say. So what this means, there are many that are saying, you know what, no, the stock prices ran up too much, it needs to come down. So with that said, you know there's going to be a lot of volatility inside of this play, and is another reason why you do not need to rush in regards to getting into a position. It's going to be more than likely that it will pull back. This is a growth stock at the end of the day, and it's part of the reasons why when it comes to my overall entries, I do not have FOMO at all, and I'm hoping that you guys also follow a similar strategy. You want to do your homework, do your due diligence, and find a price that is right for you to actually buy in. I know some of you maybe have bought in from a long time ago when it was at a higher price. Hey, you have some opportunities where you can average down, but only average down if you believe in the overall stock. Sorry, if you believe in the overall company. Because if you don't believe in the company, there's no point in averaging down. You shouldn't even have bought it in the first place. I just got to be real, because I know I get a lot of people coming down inside of the comments, even getting messages saying, man, this stock is frustrating. There's nothing frustrating about it. It's just making sure you have a strategy and knowing, hey, is this the right stock that I want to get in if I'm looking for short-term profits, medium-term profits, or long-term profits? So once you figure that out, you take a look at the chart, you see how the price moves, and then you say, well, you know what? This is not going to fit for the short term because it's too volatile and it's unpredictable, so it's not for me. Or you could say, well, you know what? I'm in it for the long term. I know as far as the company overall, what they're doing is very disruptive in regards to iBuying. I like the long-term prospects. Let me get into a starter position. These are just examples, but I want to make sure before you push that buy button, you know exactly what your intentions are. This is so important, and I'm going to keep repeating it. It doesn't matter if I sound like a broken record or not. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.